First of all, I really appreciate your position papers from both the housing and stakeholder perspective, because a lot of these things in here I share with you and have worked with municipalities on. I thought I'd first touch on the missing middle because it will take us through each one of these ones. You know, the traditional, as you say, even in your document, single family home and high is actually going to change in the next decade or so. We don't have additional land coming at us for single family growth. We have a very significant thing that we all support in this province, and that's the agricultural land reserve that surrounds most of our communities, including my community of Langley. But I really think that stacked home townhouses, row houses, duplex, quadplexes, mid-rise, purpose-built rental, and traditional townhouses can be accomplished in the marketplace with the changes in construction, whether it be six-story wood frame construction, cross-laminate timber, but more so the notion of actually adding in something that works with regards to a project. And so the simple one would be Gordon McAllister built a project out at the UBC a few years ago, had a lock-off suite over the garage of a townhouse. That became either student housing, housing for a senior person, a senior family member that needed care, living right there in the mix, and allowed, you know, that thing to be either a mortgage helper or a family helper. And I think there's more and more that needs to be done. And as we go through that, you know, the density, when you increase it for both owners and rentals, can have a remarkable impact on a marketplace. So most of you would be familiar with Clayton Heights out in Surrey, where they, about 4 years ago, a two-bedroom basement suite in Clayton Heights rented for about $1,250 a month. Today it rents for about $875. And all that changes as they grew that subdivision. They continue to add more and more coach houses over the garages in the back and allow legal basement suites in those homes. We have a program that was in our platform that we're going to expand on, where we will go up to $20,000 for somebody who wants to add a legal basement suite in a house. So they will be able to help people to actually increase density in existing houses that don't have basement suites in them, to actually provide for more rental housing within the communities, but also help people with their affordability. And, you know, we're going to have to accept the fact that density is going to be a different conversation than it was 25, 30 years ago. As we build the $2.some billion of transit we're going to match up with the federal government on the Lower Mainland, you're going to need to see density around the SkyTrain stations to make that work, and have everybody understand that in that mix you can make the deals that would allow for partnerships to build rental housing, or municipalities can ask for a certain percentage of rental housing. We can come in and subsidize those at lower income and have a mix and affordability for people who are just in the marketplace. The third one you bring is one we've all talked about for some time, which is the predictability of fees, charges, and timelines. So Vancouver operates in its own charter, has different standards they can work within. This has become a significant challenge for people because they just don't know where the dollar goes. But in some communities in the Lower Mainland, the fees and the charges and the levies could amount to $150,000 per unit before you actually put a stick in the ground. And that's an affordability factor that we have to drag back on. So we have some things we have planned there. We also have some plans to help local governments with additional staff and what have you to speed up their zoning, because there's over 100,000 units in BC right now in process just on the Lower Mainland of British Columbia. And included in that is about 2,500 units that BC Housing would build tomorrow if we had the building permits. So, and some of those have been in process for as much as 5 years. So each thing in the pipeline needs to be loosened up so we can get it to market quicker. Because if you don't bring the supply on, you're never driving the affordability down. Because as everybody knows, supply and demand is a challenge, and so we really need to make sure the supply can get to the marketplace to actually temper some of the demand, but at the same time do these innovative things in what we build that can actually help people afford them, help their family member that may be elderly, or in other ways to just expand into their family mix as it changes. Thank you.